Tubers, how's it going? Well, here it sits with 200,000 miles on it. Amazing. Man, I don't know how many times over the years, if you look at all my kayaking videos and that kind of bull, you'll see me sitting on this tailgate telling you stories about good times and crazy, whatever, bad weather, who knows, getting run off the road. My God, yeah, with 200,000 miles on it. I now remember coming home from West Virginia one time, a tractor trailer truck forced me off the road at 65 miles an hour. This thing did a full 360-degree spin on that grass slope on the highway and then came back bouncing on to the friggin' highway. Luck, hands down though, one of the best lucky moves this truck ever did. And it might only had about, well, maybe 40, 50,000 miles then. Yeah, it only had it a couple years. But yeah, this has been a good truck. It's gotten stuck, it's broke down, it's, you know, whatever, but overall, it's been a good working machine. Now, one other thing, just because I'm thinking about it, I haven't done any flushes or, you know, no coolant flushes, no transmission flushes, none of that crap. Just basically running it. You know, that's how it is. Would I buy one again? Oh, hell yeah. I mean, if this were to crap out, I'd be crying and looking for a replacement. Of all the Tundras, I think the first generation one is the best. Okay, we're getting close. There's only 1.8 in there, and then it's a bingo. Waiting. Boy, have I been waiting to do this video. Right behind me is my 2003 Toyota Tundra. And 200,000 miles. I've had it a little over 16 and a half years then. And I have worked out of this truck. I mean, 85% of the miles on this truck are in town, stop and go, start, stop, in and out of customers' houses. You know, I've handyman sheetrocked this truck. Those people that put 1 million miles on their truck in 10 years, that's great, but you're not doing half the wear and tear of somebody stop and go bumping around in the city. So anyways, that's the truck's history. Let's talk about the actual condition of the truck, what I've had to fix, and you know, what it looks like. Well, let me stand up and I'll start taking you guys through the truck. Okay, like I said, it's a 2003. It's a two-wheel drive V8 model. Now, body-wise and frame-wise for this truck, there's no rust. I mean, this thing has lived in North Carolina, Chapel Hill the whole time. I want you to look under here. Man, there is no rust at all. The frame is solid. The corners of the panels, the rockers, everything under here is rust-free and solid. I cannot believe how nice. Look at how nice and clean and solid this is. No rust on the frame at all. Little bit of surface rust right here on the hanger, but really I wouldn't even count that. This is a rust-free pickup truck. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't have its little bings and bangs, and you know, the bumper's been hit. It's sagging a little bit. I actually had to straighten it out and reattach part of the plastic with some screws. I put a trailer hitch on it. Now people start talking about modifications. I did this, I did that. I don't consider this a mod. I just put a trailer hitch on it. Just like I just put a rack on the truck. I didn't modify shit. Okay, tailgate still works nice and fine. When I bought it, I asked the dealer to put a factory Toyota bed liner, and instead they gave me this PermaGuard version. I kept it, used it. Hey, it's chewed up, but it's still good. Even where the bed liner is sitting, that's all the rust I've got. Very little surface rust, some paint worn away from the bed liner scraping around. But no, there's nothing to concern me at all or make me go crazy about this. Now, I have had to replace these cables and the screws on both sides because the cables had rotted and I had actually pulled the screws and bent them from carrying too much weight with the tailgate down. And speaking of weight, I don't know if you can see it. If you look carefully though, right here, one, and there's a matching dent here. They match up with how the tailgate smashes that, well, you can see a little bit of the reflection there. That's where the tailgate hit when those straps broke. But again, no rust at all underneath. Not even the corners here. Now this side here, I actually smacked this into a tree. That tree right over there. That one. It was snowing, trying to come around the driveway, and it just slid right into it. Popped this whole side right in. Disconnected this trim piece. So I got under there with a 2x4 in my foot, kicked it out, reattached the trim, and it's good looking. I gotta pause here. Oh, I'm getting closer. I can feel it. Okay, I'm back. Now this is just one of many homemade car repairs that I've done to this car. Also, like I said, this bumper, listen, let me go back to this side here because something else that happened almost in the very beginning of ownership of this truck. Ow. This window, my friend was opening it and this clip right here just broke right off. And as you can see, I've tied it together with dental floss so that it works. But otherwise, I'd have had to buy this clip and replace this whole setup. One more Mickey Mouse repair. Ooh, man, that door just whacked my funny bone. Inside, basically, pretty nice shape, you know. It's got its general wear and tear, but no big cracks. No tears in the seats. Carpet's still basically good, except for where I've destroyed it. But that was one thing that broke real quick in the truck, and it was like a Mickey Mouse thing. Going back over to here. Let's see, of course, obviously I've got a rack on this truck. But I need that for kayaking and for work. Okay, multiple sets of tires. I've done brakes to this truck. Back once. Front brakes go every 25 to 30,000 miles. You're going to eat a set of pads on that. And I've replaced the rotors, I think, at least once. There'll be a video, I'm sure. Let's see, what else is... These mirrors I found to be a little loose at times. But I've just slipped in some folded business card, and that takes up the slack of them having that slight vibration. Overall, the rubber and all that stuff's held up pretty good. I've done a lot of armor-alling and stuff over the years, and this truck, I've got no big paint failures. I have washed and waxed it at least twice a year. Same thing in here. Now, this door, from opening and closing so much, the actual door panel itself broke in there, disconnecting that override piece that you have on most car doors. I'll show you here. This piece right here. See, so it opens, it doesn't hang on the hinge, it hangs on this piece. I don't have that, because like I said, the door panel right here on the front door broke off. So I've been using little pieces of rubber just stuffed in the hinge to help, but the door is actually now sagging. When you lift it up, it's got a little bit of up-down motion this way to it. And I believe what I need to do is get a new door, and I'm probably going to have to replace the hinges, but at the very least, just new hinges. But the truth is, it still works. Everything goes up and down. I'm going to live with it till it totally dies. See, that's the thing I've been trying to do with this truck. Looking at the rubber here, is just live with it. Run it. See how it goes. This is 200,000 miles of real world wear and tear. The only advantage this truck has is it's in the south. And look, not even any rust at all in any of these panels. None. Zero. Not even paint bubbling. Nothing. All those trim pieces, all this is nice and solid. That's what's amazing about this truck. Now, in the front, geez, where do we start? Let's talk about shock absorbers. Oh, God. I've replaced the insides. I've replaced the whole units a couple times. Just the shocks, it's this little bushing down here that goes. I've also replaced what I now have learned to call the tie rod ends, because those were totally rotted out. Oh geez, going back to replacing and problem child. This truck has been a major problem for the shift lever. I have had this shifter break off 4 or 5 times, I don't know. The most recent time was maybe 10,000 miles, 12,000 miles ago. Toyota now has a new part for the interiors that are breaking. I hope it'll be better. But that has been a chronic problem for this truck, is this shift lever, all the guts inside snapping apart. And there's nothing I can do about it. Also, this piece broke off. And I've stolen that from another Toyota that got junked. Let's see, everything here is still working fine. Even the cup holder, you know, it's all here. Intact, a little chewed up or scratched, whatever, but no major rips and tears. Just the normal wear and tear from 16 years of opening and closing. Okay, yeah, we talked about the shifter. That's been a big problem. So let's look under the hood. Okay, now I have, before we get under the hood, somebody has actually hit me in this front end, and it actually knocked that in, knocked this off. I put it all back together, and where it broke down here is one of my famous drywall pail and pop rivet patches to hold it together, because what had happened is the clip here had gone MIA from that getting hit, and I had to buy all new clips here. Another time I scraped it bad over on that end, it looks like, and tore all that stuff up. Wow, is that a hole? Okay, this is solid. What the hell's going on here? No, that's okay. That's just the nature of the beast. See, these things don't work much anymore. They truly are crap. And see, now this whole side's kind of floating. Okay, this is going to call for the good fix. And I'll show you what the good fix is, because I'm going to open the hood and show you how the bumper is really held on here. That's right, folks, zip ties. I have zip tied all the different connections together, because those little pop plastic pins don't quite hack it. Now, The shock absorbers work pretty good on cold days. They're kind of iffy. But everything here, last couple years, these lights have started smoking out, fogging, whatever you want to call it. They're clear, then they're not clear. That's just wax buildup. But yeah, it's all here. It's intact. And basically rust-free. That's the nicest thing about this. It's paid for, rust-free, running good. Now let's talk the mechanics of this thing. Let's see, what have I done to the mechanics of this? Well, let's see, it's original motor, original transmission, original rear end. I have replaced the radiator. I haven't, but I've had a couple of timing belts popped in it. Spark plugs a couple of times every 100,000 miles or so. I fixed the leaky steering thing, whatever. They want a lot of money to replace the whole system when a hose clamp will do it. I've replaced the serpentine belt a few times. Let's see. Oil has been changed on this thing pretty much religiously, oil and filter every 3,000 miles. Let's see, what else? I need to put new, you can see it's looking pretty grimy. I actually need new valve cover gaskets. Wow. Yeah. I need new valve cover gaskets, and if I don't have the time, I'm going to take it to the dealer, but that's wet, and it shouldn't be. My motor runs dry, normally. Yep, I need new valve cover gaskets. I've been tightening them and tweaking them for a long time, but I'm due. I can't tweak them anymore. So at 200,000 miles, they need valve cover gaskets. And truthfully, I don't feel like fooling with it, so I might just take it to the dealer and say, hook me up. So anyways, there, yeah. But as you can see, no rust. No rust. And I regularly clean out these little pockets and places of all the pine needles and shit, which I'm sure helps to keep any rot and rust down. But yeah, new radiator. Yeah, I'm still on original. Oh, air conditioner crapped out, and they had to do some $700 repair at the dealer to fix that. Some electrical thing, the clutch wasn't coming on or off. Original alternator, you know, water pump I had replaced just with the second timing belt, so it was around 190,000 miles. I had a water pump done. I kept the original one, and it wasn't leaking. I just kind of did this the second time because of maintenance. And of course, that notorious starter being down in there under the intake manifold, I pray to God it never goes. Okay, everything else here is under the hood, stock and original. And I'm really happy with it. Now, I'd like to really, with part of this video, go out and do a mileage test just to see what it's actually getting today. But at one time, I got as much as 20 miles to the gallon on the highway, fully loaded. But that was gas station to gas station. The truth is, around town with all my crap in the back, because, you know, I'm usually carrying tools and ladders and, you know, all this heavy bullshit, this bad boy gets about 13 miles to the gallon. 13, 14 is what it's always averaged. And that's how it is, though. Oh, I also have replaced the seat cushion, the actual foam under this cloth. It ripped out right here from getting in and out so many times. The foam broke down. But see, as you can see, the foam is breaking down a little here. And I guess, well, here's another wear spot I didn't even show you. This piece of plastic has broken off from me getting in and out so many times. But it's all still together, no tears, no rips, you know, no rot. 200,000 miles. Listen, anybody else thinks they've got a truck that'll stack up against this thing for 200,000 miles, 16 plus years, you let me know. Because this Toyota has run. When I bought it, I said that I want to be able to drive this thing 200,000 miles to make it worth the money I paid. And sometimes I wish I'd gotten the V6 just for the mileage. But overall, this has been a good running, solid little truck. Big truck, really. I think the trucks nowadays have gone too big. This is the Tundra that you really want. Those big giant monsters with the bigger motors and the, you know, multi-speed, this might benefit from a better transmission for better mileage. But basically, this is a rock solid ride. If you're looking for a truck and you can get your hands on one of these things that's like mine, rust free, I would say this thing's as good as a brand new truck. Oh, I forgot also one other problem that this truck has. Two problems, really. Intermittently, the seatbelt light will blink on and off. And the other thing is, and I've spent over $800 at the car dealer trying to get it fixed, the airbag doesn't work on the driver's side. And they are now telling me it'll be like $1,000 for a new airbag for the steering wheel. That's the component. I'm not doing it. So the airbag is also broken on this truck. If I think of anything else, I'll include it. But I gotta say, basically, it has never left me, no, I can't say that. It has left me stranded on the side of the road because that shifter thing crapped out. Other than the shifter, this thing has been mechanically rock solid. It's run up to West Virginia. It's gone to work every day. I've got no real complaints about it. When I first bought it, I didn't want the standard wheels. They had a more wagon wheel, which I thought would look cool. But you know, now I'm satisfied with these 16-inch tires. Now that off-road package, that's a joke. That gives you these fender flares, and you get Bilstein shocks, which I never really noticed the difference than, what am I running in this thing now? Monroe. And I don't even know if they're off-road, whatever. They're just Monroes for a Tundra. Work fine. But yeah, oh, I guess here's a spot of rust right here. This is where the bumper got smacked, though, and bent a little. And that's why this is rusting out, because this chrome broke here. On this side, very little. It's just starting to flake a little bit here. But yeah, all the cool stickers and the rack. Oh yes, and the famous helper monkey. When you can't do the job yourself, you need a helper monkey. But really, this thing is just fully solid, no rust, no rot in any of the panels. Like I said, I wouldn't even consider right now buying a new truck because this one is still perfectly good. And I'm going to change the oil real soon and run it. Maybe another 3. I'll drive it until it quits. But yeah, if I can't do those gaskets, if I don't have the time, I'm just going to take it to the car dealer and let them fool with it. Because that's the easiest way for me to go. I'm getting real easy now, guys. I used to try to do car repairs, and maybe I should do this, but if I don't feel like it, I'm just not going to fool with it. This thing's running fine. Yeah, and one more thing just popped into my head on the old Tundra.
I don't know, somewhere around 100,000 miles. I was going down the highway and a major pothole, front and back tires slammed through it. And after that, the back wheel bearing started making a little hum, ooh, and it just kept getting worse. And it was a wheel bearing. So that was one other thing I had to do to the truck. But again, not their fault. Oh yeah, and backup lights. They keep quitting on me, but it's just the connector doesn't fit tight to the light bulb. You know, little glitches. But overall, man, the truck's been a good running machine. I just put some new zip ties on the horns. And when we were looking at the other day, I decided that this was a little loose. We'll see if I can get it in here. Yeah, right here. So I've added a few zip ties to stiffen up my bumper. Okay, I am 52 miles away from racking 200,000. And I'm carrying the camera. I wanted to get it on camera. I might even go for a drive today. Who knows? Okay, so everything's looking good on the Tundra. Still solid, still stock. And maybe that's the best thing to say about this truck, that it's basically still stock. I haven't done anything major to it except fix what's broken and change the damn oil. The biggest complaint I've got is the shifter and the gas mileage. But man, it's a fine running machine. All right, that's it. Well, there it is. Let me pull over here in the shade. It just flipped to all nines. 100,999 miles right here on the old Toyota. There it is. Documented. Wow. All right, let me back it up. Biscuit and I are here. See, she's here bouncing around in the back. The snake killer. Right, Biscuit? Kill them snakes? Okay, so I'm going to try to just take it easy, and I think somewhere up here around the corner, it will flip 200,000. But I have the picture of 100,000, all those nines. All right. Tubers, how's it going? Well, here it sits with 200,000 miles on it. Amazing. Man, I don't know how many times over the years, if you look at all my kayaking videos and that kind of bull, you'll see me sitting on this tailgate telling you stories about good times and crazy, whatever, bad weather, who knows, getting run off the road. My God, yeah, with 200,000 miles on it. I now remember coming home from West Virginia one time, a tractor trailer truck forced me off the road at 65 miles an hour. This thing did a full 360-degree spin on that grass slope on the highway and then came back bouncing on to the friggin' highway. Luck, hands down though, one of the best lucky moves this truck ever did. And it might only had about, well, maybe 40, 50,000 miles then. Yeah, it only had it a couple years. But yeah, this has been a good truck. It's gotten stuck, it's broke down, it's, you know, whatever, but overall, it's been a good working machine. Now, one other thing, just because I'm thinking about it, I haven't done any flushes or, you know, no coolant flushes, no transmission flushes, none of that crap. Just basically running it. You know, that's how it is. Would I buy one again? Oh, hell yeah. I mean, if this were to crap out, I'd be crying and looking for a replacement. Of all the Tundras, I think the first generation one is the best. Body size, body style. Now
what is it, '01s, '02s, this is the '03. This was the first year they came out with that plastic bumper front end. Before that, the Tundras looked much more similar to a T100 with their grille and their chrome bumper. And hey, that looks cool. I got no problem with it. In fact, when I got this truck, I didn't really like the plastic look. I was hoping for the chrome bumper. I wanted to put those horns on the bumper and, you know, be jamming. Well, I've grown accustomed to this look. I could have had one of those step side jobs, and if I was just going to go with a plate truck, that'd have been cool. No. With the way this one got smushed, if I was doing a step side, that would have really destroyed some valuable real estate that probably couldn't have been kicked back out. Yeah, overall though, this has been a good truck. First generation Tundra, the V8, what is it, 4.7. Just a smooth running machine. Somebody's actually coming down the road, I can hear a car. And that really is rare for us. Maybe it's Jay in his new Ford van. Yeah, see, that's something Toyota does not make, is a work van. Anyways, the truck's been good. It still is. I'm going to try to push it another 100,000 miles. I mean, there's no reason why it can't be. The motor's burning very little oil. Doesn't really leak any fluids other than, you know, that valve cover that we talked about. Body rust is non-existent. Frame rust, no. All the nuts, bolts, brackets, and things are still, you know, nice, clean, usable. If this truck was up north, it wouldn't survive. It'd all be rusted out, rusted solid. But down here, I mean, I'll give you one last peek. You can see for yourself, though. No rust on this bad boy. Very little surface rust. You know, it's just not there. It's just not here. When you get under this truck and look, everything is clean, rust-free. Let's see. Yeah, it's all clean, rust-free. Look at the diff. See how nice and clean that is? I haven't painted it. I haven't scraped it. That's just 16 years of wear and tear in the south. And, you know, very, very minor surface rust. A little PB blaster and whatever is there, the nuts pop right free. Like I said, even the edges of the quarter panels here, that's all brand new metal, you know, or like new metal, I should say. Even though it's been crinkled and rumpled. See, these kind of things up north, where I've crinkled it a little bit, the paint would already be bubbling, cracking, and falling off. Up here, the worst you get, I don't know if you can see it, there's just a itty bitty little surface rust. See, all this broke when I kicked it back straight. That big flake kind of popped off. But, yeah. 200,000 miles. When I bought the damn thing, I said I was going to drive it 200,000 miles to be worth the money I paid. And, man, I am so friggin' happy that this truck is just really holding up well. Like I said, even the interior, it's all here. The door's a little funky here. And, you know, it just all works. It's been good for the money. I really have to say, if anybody's looking for a Tundra, this generation one is the best. Let's see, what's the tag here say? All right, what does this tag say? Date 11/02. Like I said, November 02. Toyota Manufacturing, Indiana. Yep. And, yeah, this is the way I bought it.
Other than just fixing parts as they've broken, I've done nothing to it but drive it and change the oil. And man, is it nice. I'm going to step back and let you get a good look at this thing. My family will never appreciate it after I'm dead and gone. They'll just sell it to some poor worker, and he'll be going, oh man, this is the best thing I ever bought. It's like new. Because it really is. There you go. This truck, it's better than a new truck. Taxes are cheaper. Insurance is cheaper. Runs as good as new. Looks as, hey, for a 16-year-old truck, I've seen a lot of 16-year-old trucks, Fords, Dodge, Chevys, that don't even look half this good. All right. Like I said, this thing works completely. I'm totally satisfied. You know, it's had its problems and issues, but the damn thing just runs and runs. Let's just end this video here.